Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum dear students. I am Muzammil Yaqub, lecturer Department of Technology and your instructor for this course, which is Material and Methods of Construction. Dear students, this is the second week of our course. In today's lecture we are going to discuss about bricks. In this chapter we will discuss the classifications, manufacturing process of bricks, and so now let's start. The general definition of bricks is an artificial masonry unit in the form of a rectangular block of a prepared clay is called brick. In other words, we can say that the term bricks refer to a unit composed of clay, but it is now used to denote rectangular unit made of clay bearing soil. So this is about its definition. Now moving towards its classification. Bricks are classified into four types on the basis of their quality. As the name suggests, the first one is called first class bricks, the second one is called second class bricks, and the next is third class bricks, and the last one is fourth class bricks. So let's them study one by one. So in first category, which is called first class bricks, the first quality says they have deep red color like cherry, their surface is smooth and edges are sharp. Next, it has uniform texture with no cracks, and the next quality says that if we scratch its surface, so we should see no impression of it. And the last point is then it should produce ringing sound when we struck two bricks together. The next point is about its water absorption condition, says that it should be less than 20% of its weight when immersed in cold water for 24 hours. In other words, we can say have water absorption capacity of nearly between 15 and 12%. Minimum crushing strength means loading bearing capacity should be, or bearing capacity should be between 10 Newton meter square. The last one is about its uses, means it is used for pointing, exposed face work or flooring and reinforced brickworks, etc. Now coming to the second classification. So in this category, small cracks and distortions are permitted, means small cracks are allowed. Water absorption should be less than 22%. In this case, on first class bricks, it was around 20% as we discussed in the last slide. Then the crushing strength of the second class brick should be between 7 to 10 Newton per meter square, and it can be used for all kind of construction purpose because they are moderate quality bricks. As we know, the third class bricks are poor quality bricks because of underburning and not having required color, and also they produce dull sound when we struck two bricks together. Another factor is their poor water absorption, but it should be less than 24% because of these factors. Third class bricks are used for third class bricks construction. Poor quality bricks, which are generally used for temporary construction or for temporary structures. The last classification, the bricks which are fallen in this category or are overburned bricks, means they are very badly distorted, means out of shape we can say, and their brittle behavior as well. In short, fourth class bricks are very poor quality bricks, and these are not used as a bricks in structure. They are crushed and used as aggregate in manufacturing. For example, in roads we use brick blast, which is the another type of fourth class bricks as a leveling. So these are the requirements on the construction uses of fourth class bricks. Now moving towards next, in which is manufacturing of bricks. In this part of our lecture we are going to discuss about manufacturing process of brick in detail. Basically 7 steps or operations involved in preparation of bricks. The first one is digging, refers to excavation. Then comes weathering, which is about weathering means breaking down. The third step is blending, which is about the action of mixing. After that comes tempering. Tempering basically is the process of improving the hardness of the material. Then comes molding. Molding is the fifth stage in the process of brick manufacturing, means shaping the raw material using a mold frame of different sizes, or we can say required size, right? Then the second last one is drying process, and the last stage is burning. So these are the main 7 stages of brick manufacturing. So over here we can see figure shows the diagrammatic representation of manufacturing process of bricks. Let's discuss these stages one by one. So the first one is digging. Digging means if the area from where soil is to be taken is grassy or has other vegetation, then the top layer about 20 centimeter deep is excavated and thrown away, as it contains roots of vegetation and other organic matters. In other words, it is ensured that the soil is free from gravels, coarse aggregates, sand, lime, or any type of vegetable matter. Next one is weathering. Soil obtained from excavation process is mixed with water and then thrown in the open atmosphere. Basically, this improves its plasticity and strength. So this is about the second process. The next one is comes blending process. So in blending process, the broken earth is mixed with sandy soil. Also some amount of water is added when needed. And then comes the which is called fourth stage. So then tempering is the fourth stage, in which the blended soil is kneaded under the feet of men or cattle, means softening the soil for better quality. Then the whole mass become homogeneous and plastic, and left for drying for almost 36 hours, so it can achieve the required shape. Normally temping is done in pug mill. Pug mill, or we can write separate, pug and mill is a machine in which clay or other materials are mixed into a plastic state So over here we can see the picture of pug mill. Let's discuss how it functions. There is a vertical iron shaft. With this iron shaft, a number of horizontal arms with several vertical cutting blades are attached to each arm. We can see from the dimensions given in the picture shows that the mill is sunk 30 to 80 centimeter depth deep in the earth and is fixed on a 20 by 20 square timber. In pug mill, the clay and water is placed from the top, then vertical shaft is rotated by using electric power or generator. After that, the hole at the bottom of the tub is opened and the plugged earth or the plugged mixture is taken out from the next stage or for the next stage. Now, molding. Molding is prepared from pug mill, which is sent for the next operation of molding. Molding is a process where the prepared clay is placed in a mold which form it into a shape of brick, or in other words, process of giving a required shape to a brick from the prepared clay is known as or is called molding. After molding process, the bricks contain some amount of moisture in it, so molded bricks are dried. The period of drying may be vary from 3 to 10 days depending on the weather or depending on the soil conditions. Before burning, it is essential that the bricks have dried and have become sufficient hard to be handled and stacked in kilns. For drying, the stackers are arranged in such a way that sufficient air spaces is left between them free circulation for the free circulation of air. So now moving towards the next slide. Burning is the last stage of brick making, which usually imparts hardens and strength of the bricks. The burning of bricks should be done properly. The bricks should not be overburned as well as underburning. In general, bricks are burnt either in kilns or clamps. So kilns are permanent structures and they are adapted to manufacture bricks on a larger scale. The bricks are fired at high temperature of about 1000 centigrade. So that is it for today. The next presentation will be discussing about the quality of good bricks, test done on bricks, and type of brick masonry bonds. So we will be discussing that inshallah, hopefully in our next lecture. So keep in touch and thank you so much for listening.